Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's your weekly shoe news updates. It's another certified bussin' hood classic, no cap on God. We're gonna talk about some interesting stories today, including the price rises being here in the now. Also got some updates with the Tokyo 5s, as well as the Levi's Jordan 3s. Some more 11s have been announced for the holiday season. And one of the worst sneakers of all time, universally agreed upon, is set to make a return next year, and I've got a funny feeling if they come back, bro, these could well be hype. And an Adidas collection for your animals, bro, heaps to talk about. Let's kick things off by recapping this week's biggest releases. Big week for releases this week. Today, at the time of recording, the white cement 4s have just dropped. For a lot of people, this is one of the most important retros of the year, because for a lot of people, this is like the best Jordan 4 colorway of all time. These have pretty much sat around here in the UK, and these were available earlier on in the week through retailers. If you guys have been following the channel, you guys will know that I picked my pair up earlier on in the week on Tuesday, posted the review, and you guys have been messing with that review, which I really appreciate. And so I think it's great that this retro was widely available. They made bare pairs and everybody was able to come up. So did you secure your pair of white cements? Let me know. Also had the Little Yachty Air Force 1 low collab as well, which I think is a really nice colorway for the summer. There was a stealthy release of the Stealth Jordan 1 Low, or the Shadow Jordan 1 Low Swarovski collaboration that went down. This is the 900-pound or the $1,000 Jordan 1 Low, bedazzled with all the jewels. And these have, sold out as expected. They were very limited from what I've come to learn, and on StockX at least, they are commanding a little bit of resale money. Now you might be thinking, who the hell is buying these? Bro, people that love Swarovski, people that have that type of money. There were a couple of other sneaky bangers here and there that also came out, but I think those are the main ones. So let's get into some news now. Rightio, so Nike and Jordan Brand have already begun raising prices in response to Trump's tariffs. So the report that I'm reading here is saying that Nike and Jordan Brand just increased prices of select footwear items on the Nike sneakers page. Shoes like the recently released SB P-Rod 1 jumped from $120 to $125. The Air Max Muse saw a $10 bump to $170. The Jordan 12 Mellows have increased in price, as have the Jordan 1 UNC Reimagines. And this update comes in the wake of the recently reported on story by numerous different sneaker outlets that Nike were set to raise their retail prices next month, and they were going to be doing it on most models, save the Air Force 1 Low, for example. And so the price increases, whilst they're being felt more specifically in America at this time, are expected to wheel out more globally further on down the line. Now, there's an open question as to whether or not these increases are going to really affect most sneakerheads out there. I think if you're into your sneakers, paying an extra $5 for retail on a hyped up shoe isn't really gonna be a massive deal. But I think there are gonna be a ton of people out there who are pretty much just like clinging on to the sneaker game in spite of the increase in retail prices we've been seeing anyway over the past 3 or 4 years. And so this could be the final death nail in the coffin for a lot of collectors who are probably sat on really solid, massive collections of sneakers with a lot of pairs they're not even wearing, thinking, do you know what, man, this might be a good time to bow out of the game and put my money into something else like golf or something like that. Nah, I don't know. Now, Nike aren't the only ones to reveal some potential price increases. We've already heard from Adidas CEO Bjorn Gulden that he expects the tariffs to increase the prices for Adidas manufacturing, and so those costs will likely be passed on to the American consumer, shortly. But we've also seen ASICS line up their spring-summer 2026 price changes on some of their key models, including the popular Gel 1130, which is a $100 shoe, likely to go up to $110. The big increase is the Gel NYC, which is a really popular model. They're going to be going up from 130 to 150. Kayano 14, probably one of their best performing lifestyle running shoes, going up to 160. Even though it's not like massive increases in prices, it's just enough to have you thinking, do I really need those? Or should I go onto the secondary market and pick up a pair of used bangers? What do you guys think? Are you guys put off by this? Is this the death nail in the coffin for you, or are you cool with it? You're just gonna roll with it like everything else? Let me know. You guys might have seen this video going viral earlier on in the week. It's this video of all these people wearing different on-cloud running shoes with the caption, "Are these the new pandemic? Is this the new sneaker that everybody is now wearing?" And yeah, it's a funny video. It does certainly capture a cross-section of the sneaker landscape at the moment, because on cloud running shoes are really popular. But are they the new pandemic? No, I don't think so. I think this is just symptomatic of what happens when you stand outside of a Starbucks downtown in a fairly affluent area. I don't really think anyone is wearing these in the hood, but feel free to correct me if I'm wrong and your hood banger of choice is the CloudTech. And let's talk about some new sneakers. We've got a couple of brand new models to discuss, as well as plenty of updates as well to share with you guys. So South Korea's Haiyin SEO helps debut the Nike AVA or AVA Rover, which is a new street-ready shoe. They're very simple, pretty minimalistic. They have a pretty clean profile, clean silhouette about them. They kind of have a little bit of that. Do you guys remember that Space Hippie 04 from 2020? They have a little bit of a deconstructed look about them. They feature the React X cushioning on the midsole. And despite the running-informed elements, this shoe is designed for casual use. Ample padding is found on and around the tongue. This colorway featuring the black offset against the bone does look pretty clean, almost looks a little bit Fear of God-esque. These are set to debut in the summer. So yeah, new shoe from Nike. What are you guys thinking? You liking the look of these or not? Right, let's talk a little bit about the whole Jordan Rare Air series. There are a few stories here. We've seen earlier on this week a white Rare Air Jordan 4 sample surface, which looks, really clean, to be fair. They almost have a little bit of the what the for type energy about them. These aren't, as far as I'm aware, currently expected to release, at least at the moment, but the fact that they exist in sample form means that these could potentially come out, I don't know, like maybe next year or something like that further down the line. We've also seen some Jordan 1 Low Rare Air samples creep up as well. Most notable detail is the mismatched swoosh configuration on both medial and lateral sides. Got the vintage cream style midsoles, black rubber outsoles, and a little bit like the white samples, the rumors that I'm hearing with these is that they're not expected to release imminently, but potentially next year. And then finally on the Rare Air series, a lot of people out there really excited for the Jordan 4 Rare Airs, which are set to drop towards the back end of July. And just to remind you guys, there are a couple of different versions of this shoe. There's going to be a version that features the Jordan Rare Air text underneath the Velcro tab on the tongue, featuring just in like normal white. And then there's a rarer version, which is going to be in gold lettering. Now, I have seen some back and forths or some comments made by Sneaker Files online, who was saying that there's something in the region of like 20 or 25% of the global stock is going to feature the gold Rare Air branding underneath, and then 75-80% of the stock is just going to come normal with the black and white lettering. And what I'd seen from Complex is that 98% of the shoes are going to feature the black and the white, and then only 2% with the gold, making the gold pairs way rarer. Now, according to Sneaker Files, this is inaccurate. It's probably closer to the numbers that he's suggesting, making them not quite as rare, but definitely a lot rarer. And so whilst this is only a very small detail, it is one of those details that a lot of sneakerheads and collectors get really obsessive about or really interested over. So yeah, I would probably tend to go with Sneaker Files over Complex, and the reason will be revealed in this next story. Let's talk about this one here. So it's regarding the Air Jordan 5 Tokyo, which in last week's episode we had the pleasure of breaking the news about. Well, not like breaking it to the internet, but just breaking it on this channel. I could only wish to be so well connected and informed that I am literally bringing you guys the hot leaks fresh off the press. But no, the Tokyos are rumored to be coming out maybe in September, I think, and we've actually had our first looks at them here, which you can see some pictures of, and we will talk about the shoe itself in a little bit. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about is Complex had sort of rubbished this rumor earlier on in the week, saying sources at Jordan Brand close to Complex have sort of dispelled this idea that the Tokyo 5s are coming out. We shouldn't expect to see them. And this is what we're used to seeing with these sneaker releases. Sometimes they get confirmed and then they get disconfirmed later on that same afternoon. But according to Sneaker Files, this shoe is coming out. His sources have confirmed. Ex-Sneakerhead Zed The other sort of up there newsbreaker has also come through with the confirmation that these are set to release. And then Complex actually went online and decided to walk back their previous tweets where they had said there's no plans for the Tokyos to come out. And so, yeah, that's a good thing to do that they did, just owning the mistake and saying, yeah, we got that one wrong. So yeah, it's easy to do, fair play, everyone moves on and gets on with it. Now, taking a look at the shoes' first looks, one thing that stood out to me straight away, and I'm sure you collectors out there saw the exact same detail first and foremost, and it's the yellow toe cap, because the original Tokyos didn't come with the yellow toe cap, but the yellow toe cap did exist in sample only form. So this was one of those shoes that if you were lucky enough to have the Tokyo 5s, the released pair, that was kind of like admirable enough. But if you had the yellow toes, bro, that was like having the sample of the already incredibly rare sneaker. So they're actually giving us a retro of the sample, it would seem, as opposed to a retro of the actual pair that released, which I think is dope. I think that is really cool. The shape looks good, the colorway speaks for itself. This really is one of the best Jordan 5s of all time, just because the yellow works so well. So yeah, very excited to hear that these are indeed coming back out. But I, for one, am definitely putting this right up there next to the Undefeateds as two of the absolute must cops for the year. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won the NBA's Most Valuable Player Award this past week, and he did so wearing his signature shoe with Converse, and he played in a new colorway, which is the Hail Clay colorway, which is inspired by his wife's eyes. Very nice story behind it. Obviously, he's a very loving guy. And this shoe right now is getting a lot of attention because of how well Gilgeous-Alexander is playing. There are actually some people out there that are suggesting this could be the hottest signature shoe out there right now, giving the AE1/AE2 a really good run for its money. So I'm wondering, what do you guys think? Do you guys feel this shoe? Or if you don't feel it, like, you don't need to feel it, but do you at least recognize that people out there are really gravitating towards this shoe? A lot to do obviously with Gilgeous's game, but he's also regarded as one of the best dressed NBA players, like off the court as well. So I think Converse have done an absolute masterstroke in signing this guy, in creating a very unique looking basketball shoe. What do you guys think? Is this sneaker the best signature sneaker out there right now, or at least the best new signature sneaker? Feel free to weigh in. Right, so the controversial Nike Air Bakin in the varsity red is coming out next year. And this is another classic mid-90s basketball sneaker worn by the likes of the Crossover, Tim Hardaway, people like Mitch Richmond. It was quite controversial when it first launched. You guys might remember, because of the text on the back of the heel tab. It says Air, but it's got this kind of like freaky font about it that some people had mistakenly interpreted to mean Allah in Arabic or something like that. So because that was semi-blasphemous, these shoes pretty much got cancelled, or they had to be reworked or whatever. There have been one or two re-releases of this shoe, I think 2014 was the last time I could remember these come out. Spring 2026 is the proposed release date that I'm seeing here. No price information that I can see, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do with the Nike Air on the back. Tyler, the Creator, has got a 1908 collection dropping in June, featuring a whole bunch of sneakers. Now, some people are looking at these sneakers and saying, bro, are you just kind of like copying other brands? And I guess you could see that angle, but I think what he's really doing is he's just identifying the fact that right now in sneakers, one of the big trends is just the flat shoe trends, the minimal look shoe trends, basic shoe trends, flat, streamlined, slim. That is a big look now. It's almost like a response to the oversized shoe trend that has been massive over the past few years. You can't really be mad at Tyler, the Creator, for wanting to bring out things that are, current. But yeah, are any of them appealing to me? Nah, no. Right, so one of the worst sneakers of all time, from a design standpoint, from an aesthetic standpoint, from a gimmick and gym crackery standpoint, is potentially going to retro in 2026. We are talking about the Dada Supreme Spinners. Bro, this sneaker is pointed to as one of the worst of all time. Now, this is just a rumor, although This has come from the absolute mouth of the horse. Latrell Sprewell himself posted this on X. Who remembers these? They might be making a comeback in 2026. Now, Sprewell is currently involved with the Knicks and Madison Square Garden in community and media related roles. Made this announcement right after the Knicks defeated the Celtics to advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And I guess one final thing to mention about this rumor is that this isn't the first time that he has hinted that these sneakers might be making a comeback. Throughout the mid-2010s, Sprewell shared on at least 2 occasions that his Dada Supreme Spinner basketball shoe would be brought back in the same way that designs like the Jordan 1s have come back time and again over the years. I would wonder whether or not in today's climate of meme footwear and nostalgia over the Y2K era, whether or not shoes like this could actually be popularized and made to be cool just because of how ugly and how sort of like anti-cool they are. I don't know, what do you guys think? The Kobe 5 Lower Merion Aces Away Protro is expected to release in the spring of 2026, $190. Right, some updates with the Air Jordan 3 Levi's collaboration set to come out next year in the spring. And I'm sure some of you guys out there were probably expecting this news. It's not a big surprise, given that the previous collaboration done between the two featured 3 Air Jordan 4s. We're getting 3 Air Jordan 3s. So there is a denim black sail colorway, there's a denim gym red colorway, and then there's a denim sail gym red and ocean fog. And these pairs are expected to go for $225. And yeah, the mock-ups look pretty good. They are clean. It'll be interesting to see these when we get some like legit images. You guys remember the Air Jordan 4 collaboration back in 2018? That was definitely pretty exciting. That was pretty hype. And I can imagine the interest being really high as well as the demand high in 2026, depending on how the shoes end up looking. The Air Jordan 14 black and university blue is set to return next year as well for the 20th anniversary. Really nice shoe in a really nice colorway, and I have a feeling that some of these higher numbered Jordan retros are going to start to become a little bit more popular in the future as fatigue sets in with these older numbered retros. What do you guys think about that? Is that a hot take? Right, so there's a crazy amount of Air Jordan 11s set to come out this holiday season, like around that whole October through till Christmas period, and we've had another one announced. So this one is the Air Jordan 11 Football Blue, and we have the color canvas, metallic silver, summit white, and football blue. So according to these mock-ups, these kind of look like a hyper-aged pair of Columbias or something like that. You also have an Air Jordan 11 Sport Royal, which is supposed to be coming out in the holiday season as well. Sail off-white, new sprint, Sport Royal. They look clean, they look fine, nothing crazy. Also hearing about a Canyon Purple colorway as well. See the mock-ups here, these are pretty out there. And don't forget, we've also got the Rare Airs as well as the Gammas. There's 1 or 2 others as well. I mean, Jordan Brand, we're always gonna go hard this year for the 40th anniversary. I kind of feel like there's a few too many of them releasing in some questionable colorways. I don't know. So another Scars Pizza Air Force 1 Low has surfaced in this black edition. And these were unveiled by the man himself, Scar Pimentel, at Complex's Family Style Food Festival last weekend. The pair features all the bells and whistles featured on the first Scars Pizza pair. I'm not sure if this pair is like supposed to release, or this is just an early sample, or if it's a friends and family from the original release. I'm not sure. I can't see any information as to whether or not this pair is going to potentially be released to all of us, or maybe some like version of it. I don't know. But yeah, do these look cool? I think they do. Wale has debuted another new GT Future colorway at Got Soul. Iridescent orange to purple gradient shell. Bro, this sneaker is dope. I'm liking it, but they're kind of longing it out a little bit now. These aren't set to release until the holiday season. We still don't know what colorways we're going to be getting. Like, they've definitely been eking out the promo for this shoe early by essentially making this an unofficial Wale collab. It seems to me like this guy, maybe PJ Tucker, maybe a handful of other strong affiliates to Nike have been seeded out early pairs, but this guy Wale seems to be the main marketing tool for Nike to try to drum up the hype and the excitement. And I don't know, man, like it's an interesting one. When I see Wale in his fits, it's not like an aspirational way to dress. It's like, don't get me wrong, I'm not like fashionable or stylish. This to me looks like the type of clothes you wear, you know, like over the period of like 2 or 3 days when you've just been at home. Like you've got the hoodie, the random hoodie on that fell behind the couch. You've just got some pants that are on the floor. And then you've got the shoes, man. I don't know, like, does Wale still have the clout in the game to be able to put new sneakerheads onto models like that? I don't know. Adidas are releasing a collection for your pets. Bro, you can get your dog dripped out, or you can get your cat suited and booted with literal pet drip. This is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is going on, man. And okay, this is at least exclusively releasing in China initially. This is an interesting one. This is almost a little bit of a debate topic because there are people out there that love their pets to the point where they love them like their own children. And I know you can potentially love your pets as much as you would love another human being. In fact, in some cases, probably even more. But the whole, I don't know, anthropomorphization of pets, turning them into little kids, seems to be going a little bit far when you've got big brands like Adidas literally bringing out collections. So yeah, you've got tops, you've got collars with accessories, you've even got like bespoke bags to carry your dogs around in. And I guess in China and, you know, in other parts of the world, there is a literal market for this type of stuff. Most of it is marketed through a practical lens. This is really just through a fashion lens, from what I can see. So it does make sense in the Chinese market, where I think there are a lot of people out there that will just love the opportunity to dress their cats and dogs up, or whatever other pets you've got. There will be some people that will look at this as being akin to like cruelty, or, you know, something like that. I don't know. But what do you guys think? Would you guys be keen to get some drip for your dog or not? Let me know. So J-Tip's next collaboration could be the Pro Grid Triumph 4. And this was captured and posted to social media by Haas, the bro over there, My First Kicks podcast. J-Tip hasn't publicly acknowledged whether or not the sneaker is his next official collaboration, but this first look at the Pro Grid Triumph 4 reveals unmistakable branding from the man himself. It's classic J-Tips at this point. Flower, pink, saucony, J-Tips, right? It's a done deal. So yeah, these are going to be the next ones for sure. Right, so Nike are looking to create a little bit of hype around their upcoming, exciting Vomero Plus running shoe, which I'm excited to try, by the way. I love the Vomero 18, been running in it a whole bunch, and this looks like a slightly up-spec'd version of that. And the way that they've decided to bring about a little bit of hype on the model is to hit it with the you-know-what, man. The reverse swoosh. That's right, they've gone full reverse swoosh for this pair, and it works, man. It looks good. I actually think it does work pretty good with the little run logo on the top as well. So I think they've maybe done that so as to beat the Travis Scott copying allegations and just kind of turn it into its own unique logo in and of itself. I mean, they may have even used this before on previous running models. Some of my running nerds out there can correct me. But yeah, this is an exciting model that has been made about 10% more exciting because the swoosh is backwards. Now, speaking of new Nike running shoes, the Structure 26. So the shoe introduces a full ReactX foam midsole, offering stability and comfort, a new mesh upper with added collar and tongue padding. The Structure 26, it sits alongside the Vomero 18 and the Pegasus 41 in the icon tier of the brand's revamped road running lineup. So we've had some really good first looks at the Jordan 11 Rare Airs. These are dropping in October. $250 is the price point. And yeah, I don't know, man. What do you guys think about these, man? I sort of think these look a little bit like fakes, man, from the early 2000s. You guys remember when the fake companies used to make proper fake shoes and just do colorways that didn't exist yet? Radio, to finish off today's episode, let's talk about some of the sneaker releases you guys might want to keep an eye out for this week. Still a couple of bangers dropping, and there's a huge restock that's set to go down. At least here in the EU, we have a re-release of the Union 1 Chicago's, man. The Brick by Brick Nigels, the Kobe 1 Air Force 1s, the Wu-Tang Dunks, as well as the Amamanye 4s, the SB 4s. There is a big restock. Now, the Nike Sneakers app here in the UK has actually taken off the Brick by Bricks and the Chicago's. I'm not sure if that was maybe just a tease. Maybe they've come to realize that the stock numbers were so low, they might as well just backdoor them. I'm not sure, because I had seen some really low stock numbers for the Brick by Bricks and the Union Chicago, something like, like 100 pairs or something like that. Whereas for the SB4s, I'd seen something crazy like, tens of thousands of pairs being made available. Now, I'm not sure if this is the same thing or the same type of situation for you guys over there in the US, but at least for my EU, UK subscribers, keep an eye on the Nike Sneakers app for the restock going down on Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, you guys in the US also have the Rare Air 3s. I am also seeing the Kobe 6 Dodgers, as well as the Works Out Nike Air Max 95s, as well as the Nike SB Dunk Low Pro B in the pale ivory colorway. So yeah, not a crazy amount of heat dropping this week, but yeah, just when there's a lull in the heat, they give you like a restock. So yeah, they're coming for your wallet no matter what. So yeah, let me know what you guys are going after this week. And that brings us to an end, you guys. Thank you very much for taking the time to watch the video. Do me a favor and like it before you bounce, and also do me a favor and subscribe to my second channel. And I will see you guys on the next video. Take care for now, and peace.